it.
Hello out there, and thanks for joining us on Political Platform. And we want to thank you. It's a midweek edition, and we have all the reports for you. We have gathered in the last 24 hours. Just to quickly alert the security agencies, the police, and all those who want to keep the peace, that the information we're getting from Ekpoma in Edo State is not a very good one. As we hear there's a massive protest on the streets with the people carrying the body of a dead woman all over the place. The woman, according to the information I got, was believed to have been murdered in the farm yesterday. And of course, you know what the thinking will be. And if the thinking is around that, it is Fulani herdsmen that killed the lady. I was asking the person, how are they keeping the... They said, look, they are not violent, but they are just protesting to security agents to secure the people around. It's one issue that will take on. One of this is like it's becoming so recurring now that the police and the other security agencies need to do the job of securing citizens all over the place. Whether they're from herdsmen, or kidnappers, or armed robbers, we need to do some. Along the busy Auchi Benin Road in Ekpoma has been blocked. According to the information we have, we believe that people could be asked to protest peacefully. They are doing that peacefully. We hope they continue to protest peacefully, and the police will talk to them. Now, we have a lot to tell you about the meetings that went on continuously. Like we told you yesterday, the acting president met with the leaders, the religious and traditional leaders from the north yesterday. That meeting was scheduled to have it was supposed to have taken place on Monday, but unfortunately, the invitation went to only Muslim leaders. So the government had to reschedule that meeting for yesterday to accommodate all the other traditional rulers and those who are not necessarily Muslims. We have a package this morning where I will feature the Minister of Budget and Planning. We took him to our studios this morning. Because of the Federal Executive Council meeting, he couldn't stay to take on live with us. But we have some insight from him on the budget. You know about the budget breakdown. And we also ask some of the political questions and the challenges of implementing the budget. It's a very good one that you will hear from the Udoma, the Minister for Budget and Planning this morning. And we have a guest in the house, Ibrahim Modibo. How do I describe Ibrahim Modibo? A politically exposed journalist? That may be correct, but he's a journalist any day, anytime. When they go into politics and they come back, we accommodate them. He's been a spokesperson for the ANPP. He worked closely with Buhari, traveled with our President Buhari in the course of all his campaigns and the previous elections. But he has also been an editor of editors, and he is here with us in the studio this morning. Let me just quickly welcome him. Thank you for joining us, Ibrahim Modibo.
Thank you very much, Ohire.
My other colleagues are here. Dr. Amit Chanakwe.
Hello, good morning.
Uju Eje is right in here.
Good morning, Ohire.
And Mustafa Mohammed is also with us.
Thank you, good morning.
Let's take the views that you have through our mailbox political platform at yahoo.com, where you can share with us your views and what you think of the political situation and where you can offer your opinion. Who is talking to us this morning?
Thanks, Ohira. Welcome to the mail segment. I'm Amaka Okoro.
I'm Usaiti Yari. Welcome.
We'll begin with a reaction on the quit notice given to the Igbos in the northern part of Nigeria, and it's coming from Dixon Eka in Abuja. The mail reads, the position of the southern leaders, which declared that any further discussion on the quit notice issued to the Igbos in the northern part of Nigeria to vacate the northern part of the country by the Arewa youth automatically affects the entire southern Nigeria, is a good step aimed at protecting the Igbo people in the country. But my question for them is, does that mean that the Southern leaders have agreed with the agitation for the Biafra or have agreed to be part of Biafra? I expected the Southern leaders to as well use the forum to caution and restrict the IPOB and other groups from the unguarded agitation for the creation of Biafra Republic, which they failed to do. From my observation, marginalization is the sharing of national cake is a principal reason for the uprising, which may reduce but not stop, even after restructuring. I therefore called for a constitutional amendment that will ensure power rotation through zoning of the presidency to each of the 6 geopolitical zones of the country as a holistic approach to solving the lingering problems. May God help us.
Bethel in Abuja titles his mail Nigeria, now or never. The mail reads, Nigeria must be one, now or never. I believe in a well-structured federalism where every individual component and various citizens will be equal and treated equally. In Nigeria where intelligence is not a curse but an asset to national development. I need a Nigeria where if we must be one, citizenship must be acquired by residency amongst Nigerians and not where your father is born.
And Eka in Abuja writes on the support of Benue State's anti-grazing law. It goes further. The massive protests and solidarities that greeted Makurdi, the Benue State capital, yesterday in support of the anti-grazing law of the state is a clear signal that the people of the state have bored their mind on the state of security in the state. A solidarity that cuts across religion from Christianity to Islam and to youth from all the districts of the state showed that the people have spoken in volume and no referendum could be more than that. As an unbiased indigene of the state, I can authoritatively inform the platform that this is the first time that the governor's action is receiving the support of the people of the state. Rather than inciting the headsmen against the wishes of the people of the state, I call on the national leadership of the Meiti Allah to use the window period of between now and the set date of November to engage the governor in a dialogue where they may request for land in hectares in all local government areas of the state for their members in the state. Peace is priceless. May God help us.
Writing on the DSS warning against incitement, Kunle Rotimi in Abuja says, following your discussion on Monday of subversive comments and hate threats across Nigeria, it is gratifying that the DSS has issued stern warning against the treasonable perpetrators. Without prejudice to the DSS functions and strategies, all the culprits and their sponsors should be arrested and duly prosecuted with dispatch. I assume that the DSS and other security agencies will now begin to arrest, disarm, and prosecute all the murderous headsmen who are on a killing spree across Nigeria. They are not ghosts, after all. Despite the reportedly sporadic killing of many farmers and innocent citizens by the headsmen, I am not sure if any of them has been arrested and charged with trespass, murder, and unlawful possession of firearms. They always vanish with their cattle. A few days ago, the Fulani headsmen allegedly invaded Taraba State House of Assembly with dangerous weapons, aiming to stop passage of the ranching bill. I wonder why the DSS and sister agencies have not arrested the gang leaders as crime suspects. Do the headsmen have immunity against arrest? Crimes are subtly and unwittingly encouraged when swift punishments are not meted out to the guilty.
And this is how far we can go on today's mail segment. Do keep sending your mails to us. The route to reach us is Political Platform at yahoo.com.
Bust it. They present the popular radio program Political Platform on the Ray Power FM network. Ray Power FM Political Platform, now on television. Keep track of the country's polity and be part of the process as they discuss and put political developments in the country into perspective. It's Ray Power Political Platform on AIT Abuja.
Thank you so much for remaining with us on the platform. Let's go right away to meet with the Honorable Minister of Budget and National Planning, Udoma. I asked him the first question, the framework for the 2017 budget.
The thrust of the budget is partnership with the private sector. So we are spending on areas that will stimulate private sector investment. For instance, we're spending money on the special economic zones, where we're going to be in partnership with the private sector and have zones within which we will try and ensure that you have water, you have light, power, uninterruptible power, you have security, so as to entice companies and manufacturers to relocate there.
We have had budgets, particularly since 1999. The problem we have always seen is that they are not implemented more than up to 50%. I don't think we have had a budget we have implemented up to 50%.
Well, except for the 2016 budget.
2016. Now,
2016 budget, we released 1.2 trillion out of 1.5 trillion. I think that percentage is much more than 50%.
much more than 50%.
Much more than 50%.
Are we likely to work to get an improvement on?
You have to judge a government by its antecedents. This is a government that we succeeded, as I said, out of 1.5 trillion in releasing 1.2. So, and this is at a time that we had a recession, we had challenged revenues. We only managed to collect 76% of our targeted revenues, and we still managed. So this is a government that is extremely prudent, very, very prudent. We try and make sure that we target our releases, for maximum impact, because we don't have that much money.
Now, we have the roads. I saw the road map on the roads. They are quite ambitious. Considering what we're hearing now from the oil, the oil price international community, are you disturbed?
Well, naturally, I'm always disturbed by the oil price. I follow the oil price every day. And when the oil price comes down, I'm naturally concerned. However, what we are trying to do is to diversify the economy so that we are not totally dependent on the oil price. It's going to take us some time, but we will get there.
Just lastly, sir, the absence of President Muhammadu Buhari in the Federal Executive Council meeting, the operations generally, we got to know that you had to be written a letter so that the acting president, before the acting president signed it. So many people talked about the ministers and the acting president work. Is there any gap?
No, there's no gap whatsoever. We're working very, very closely together. When the president left, he handed over to the vice president to become the acting president. It was seamless. This is a government that is completely together.
Did he need to write you a letter? The president didn't need to have written you a letter before the acting president signed the budget?
Everything that we did was together with the acting president.
Together with
every stage of the way. Any letter, whether written to me or listen to this thing, is together with the acting president. So we always work together.
I've known you as a senator, as a lawyer, as a senator, and I know you that for your background, you're meticulous. How easy is it to function in government at this level, at the executive?
Well, I would say that naturally, as a private sector person, I'm used to doing things a little differently.
Yeah.
In government, you have to learn that in government, the way of the private sector, you have to adjust. The bureaucracies, things do not move as fast as you expect. But this is what government is all about. And so what you have to do is you have to adjust and try and make government work better. Because there's no doubt that government has not been working as well as it could have been working. So one of the things that I am trying to do is to bring some of my private sector expertise, some of my private sector experience to bear to improve the way government machinery works.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for giving us time. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Busted.
They present the popular radio program Political Platform on the Ray Power FM network. Ray Power FM Political Platform, now on television. Keep track of the country's polity and be part of the process as they discuss and put political developments in the country into perspective. It's Ray Power Political Platform on AIT Abuja.
Thank you so much. You heard the Minister of Budget and National Planning, Udoma, in that very brief interview. Of course, the high point of it is that the Minister the acting president, the president himself, and all the other ministers in the team, they are together in whatever thing they do. And of course, you know how that letter raised the dust from the president, from his sick bed in London to the acting president to go ahead and sign the budget. Of course, we have the budget now, and that's all we are working on. Let's hope that all the promises and all the enthusiasm that is following the budget, all of them will come to pass positively. Let's come to the issues now, and that is the issues we have been talking about. We told you that the acting president continued with the dialogue yesterday, and it's one that everybody is optimistic will yield the results. But let me ask my guest here, Ibrahim Modibo, who is a journalist, a politician, you want to call him, and I say he's a politically exposed journalist. Now, where do we go from here after all this dialogue?
Thank you very much, Ohira, for this wonderful invitation. I think the diplomatic shuttle by the acting president, or by the acting president, Professor Yemi Osubanjo, is one of the best things that will happen to Nigeria at the moment. Looking at the fact that there has been a disconnect between the past and the present. We're in a country where the issues of marginalization has reared its ugly head.
Everywhere.
Even in the political cycle.
Even the Fulani, the Hausa Fulani say they are marginalized.
Exactly. The Hausa Fulani feel marginalized. Even the political class feel marginalized. As you've earlier said, we were with the president since 2003. We went everywhere. In fact, all his court cases, I was one of the principal witnesses. But today, the power has rotated.
Yes.
People that are at the helm of affairs...
You are no more there.
I'm no more there. People at the helm of affairs that have suffered are not there. And
just like what the president's wife said at that time.
Exactly. And all the APP, from APP and ANPP political party, nobody except Ubonia Onu that got a political appointment. I can tell you that. So, you see, the marginalization is everywhere. If the Igbos are talking about marginalization...
the former ANPP members are marginalized.
Of course, ask them. Let them be sincere and open. You see, this is stirring up a stimulating discourse, either politically, socially, and otherwise, internationally and nationally. And I think it is a very good thing that the acting president is stepping in at the spur of the moment to make sure that these issues are nipped in the bud. And let me tell you, this quick intervention, if it hasn't come, or it couldn't have come better than now, bearing in mind that we are on a time bomb. Whether we like it or not, the issues of marginalization and the issues of people trying to bring in sentiments based on either sectionalism, based on religion, and based on ethnicity is a time bomb for Nigeria. Yeah. Unfortunately, as I said, there's disconnect between the past and the present. Because if you look at the use of these days, those that even went to NYC, with this they're dressing, with the Frelimo cap, they are thinking like gorilla people. When we served, our allowance was just 200 naira, and we had the best kitting. And we served Nigeria diligently. But today, history they're supposed to bind us together is no longer there in our syllabus in secondary schools. So how do you know our past? So as to prepare the present and not the future.
You talk about marginalization.
Yes.
How do we ensure that this cries of marginalization do not come up? Yes, there are constitutional provisions, but it appears these provisions, these laws are not working.
Yes, you see, in any government, that is to be guided by sincerity of purpose, and also the fact that in any setup, there should be sincerity and openness. Give Caesar what is Caesar's. This country, God has never made a mistake to bring us together. The more the merrier. The fact that at Igbo man, I did my NYSC in Igbo land, and today I'm proud to have served there because I had a lot of people that I connected with them and binded with them. Today, if I go to Imo, I know where to go, and I will not be driven away. So you see, this binding, this intercourse in terms of social, economic, and political matter has brought Nigeria, has given us the Nigerianness in us, and has brought strength. The more the merrier. The more in terms of population, the more in terms of us meeting together in diversity, we're going to prosper. If we don't give Caesar what is Caesar, let every section be given its own due. I want to converse, and I want to also maintain that Nigeria is better than any other person, any single individual, and therefore we must do everything within the ambit of our power to make sure that we unite together.
How do we achieve this, Ibrahim Modibo? How do we achieve this? Because some persons are saying we have to restructure. Although so many people talk about the definition of restructuring, depends on who is talking about it. But there are basic things we are talking about: devolution of power. We are talking about people. Either we reduce these bogus governments that is all over the place, reduce them to a level where the little resources is used for governance and more resources used for the development. And we cannot achieve this unless we begin to break down the component, devolve power, and allow each the component states or region or whatever you want to describe it to get. How do we get to that level where everybody will have this sense of belonging?
You see, Napoleon the Great was very, at various times quoted as saying, the world suffers a lot, not because of violence of bad people, but because of silence of good people. We are not talking. The good people within the ambit of power and outside, our leaders, are not talking. When you see these youths are misguided, you don't bring them to order. Call them. Let's sit down and talk. It's better to do dialogue than to go to war. Look at what is happening in Rwanda today, or what has happened in Rwanda, in Central African Republic. So when you look at all this, it's a pointer, it's something that we should think. Most of these boys that are bringing all these problems, they've never seen war. For people like us, when we were young, we saw the atrocities and the calamities that befell this country during the Civil War. And therefore, never shall it happen again in this country. What we pray is for God to give us the wisdom. Let's sit down. Let's talk. Give Caesar what is Caesar. There is no, let me tell you, all these problems are happening because of politics. It's power play. Most of these
because
people,
the poor man in Adamawa is the same thing as the poor man
exactly,
in Braz.
Exactly. And the common man in the market today, whether you're a Hausa or Fulani, there's that social interaction between the Igbo, the Hausa, the Fulani.
They don't quarrel.
They don't quarrel. But the issue of sharing of national loot is the cause of this problem. And it's political. Once people
the
that
national loot or national treasury.
Well,
It's legitimate, so it's our treasure.
Exactly, but why I'm saying it's national loot is because most of these people that have lost power, and having lost power, that capacity to amass wealth, to control the masses is no longer there. And therefore the only thing is to bring up uprising, so as to aggregate opinion of people, the masses, and then so that they go on strike or they go on rioting. So if we are going to sit down and iron out issues based on dialogue,
how do we sit down? The National Assembly, because the National Assembly has asked for a copy of the 2014 National Conference. Are we going to be sitting down at the level of the National Assembly, or is the Buhari administration going to be on record as somebody who will also gather everybody together and say, now there's a dialogue going on? Are we going to say, let us have all that we have on the ground, all the conference papers? Let us sit down and look at them. What can we do? And then get an executive bill to the National Assembly to amend the Constitution, and also some of the vexatious aspects of the Constitution that the 2014 National Conference of. I don't need to ask you, Ibrahim Modibo, in the form, when you are filling form, where were you born? We should ask you where you are. Where are you residing?
Or what's your state of origin?
We now ask you where's your state of
residence.
If I have some forms to ask you, which religion do you belong to? I mean, those are the things that. Where do we begin? Is it National Assembly?
Yes, you see, I strongly believe that the present government, the present setup, might not be amenable to maybe implementing what the PDP government did. And therefore, I strongly believe that if we are to move forward, maybe let us have a conference.
Another conference.
A conference that will bring all the ethnic groups based on
have we not done
elections.
That before?
No, based on elections. Go and contest as a delegate. If you win, come to the conference. Based on your, because some of these
is
guys,
there anything new, Modibo, that we are going to get from that?
There will be. Do you know why? If you are two representatives of the people in the conference, you are coming with the aggregate opinion of the people. But some people are guided by sentiments. There are people that cannot even win a vote in their constituencies, and they came out making noise. So they are not true representatives of their people.
That is the 2014 National Conference.
Yes, I can tell you that. Some are just empty vessels making empty noises. But let us have a conference. Sit down. I don't know if it is about power rotation, as the other male has said. Let us give all the 6 geopolitical zones the rotative powers.
The 2014 conference says so.
Yes, to create the presidency. And secondly, as I said, let us be fair and just.
Now, I'm going to move you away from the actual. Let us come to the conflict zone.
Yes.
You are a Fulani man.
Yes.
Now, how do we the image that is going on all over the place, the image that's going on, particularly in the hinterland. I just talked about Ekpoma just now. Somebody dies in the farm, it's a full animal that killed him. And I was asking them, did you see? They said, no, traditionally in Ekpoma, Esan land, rape is something that even to a handshake with a married woman is serious enough. Not to talk of rape, and that it must be those who infiltrated and they must be Fulani. But there's this image about the Fulani that is growing. Some of them may be correct, some of them may be wrong. How do we quickly resolve this matter such that we don't see a Fulani man on the street and just begin to look at him like you now? We just be look at you like you are just a barbaric person. You don't have how do we remove this image?
There's a misconception of a Fulani person, general misconception. You see, there is no single tribe in sub-Saharan Africa, west of Zambezi and east of Limpopo, that constitutes the largest ethnic nationality like the Fulanis.
Yeah.
From Futajalon right to Cameroon and down to Europe, they are all Fulanis. They are there on that belt. So let me tell you, people that are causing this trouble, I want to believe that a Fulani man has conscience. A Nigerian Fulani man only carries a stick and not any other thing, not even a dungun. Those making this trouble, I want to believe that they are, the remnants of this Boko Haram are coming from the Zambeza forest. Yeah. They will go and buy Fulani dresses, keep themselves, because they want to turn Nigeria topsy-turvy. They want to turn Nigeria into a kind of Rwanda. So by trying to incite the different nationalities, they couldn't succeed militarily from Northeast Zone. Now they are infiltrating all over the zone, so as to bring this sentiment about the Fulani man.
Your conclusion is the conclusion of some other Nigerians, especially those in government. But Nigerians are wondering, if they are not Nigerians, what are the security agencies?
No, we are not saying they are not Nigerian. We say Boko Haram.
Yes. So yes, there are estimations that some of them even came across the border. That the original Fulani man we knew for centuries will not rape, will not kill, exactly. And we have been cohabiting with them.
Exactly.
So, why is the security agencies finding it difficult?
Why are they finding it
difficult?
To take action?
Because theories appear to be feasting on it.
By both content and context, a Fulani man like me is a man of dignity. Can I rape a woman? I cannot go and start making trouble with my friends. We've been friends for a long time. Yeah. But let me tell you, these issues of this Boko Haram infiltration, mark my words, the security agencies have not been able to arrest one person. And let them arrest, let us see who the specimen of the Fulani people that are in question. But I can tell you with my honor and credibility, Mustafa, honestly and sincerely, I will bet with the last drop of my blood that Fulani man that I know
will not go
stoop so low to go and rape a woman, to go and kill people from one zone to the other all over Nigeria.
We have to go now. Ibrahim Modibo, as a journalist, he's a politician, and says it the way he feels. I also say it's a Fulani.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us on the program. We'll come back tomorrow. I know that we have both from the interview with the Minister of Budget, Udoma, and that of Modibo here. We know we have stimulated your interest. So drop a note for us. Political platform at yahoo.com. Okiri Agbonsuremi here. Do have a wonderful day.
Bust it.